Infinite comes from director Antoine Fuqua, who's known for movies like Training Day, Southpaw, and The Magnificent Seven, and it stars Mark Wahlberg and Chiwetel Ejiofor. In a world where a select few humans are repeatedly reincarnated after death, a civil war brews between the infinites that use their power for good, and the ones who want to put an end to the never-ending cycle. Welcome to my review of the latest movie trying to get a franchise, and it's absolutely not going to get anything more than one film because this movie is terrible. I watched it for you guys, so you don't have to. Originally, this movie was supposed to come out in 2020, then it was delayed like many other films to 2021, then Paramount decided to scrap the theater idea and put it on their new streaming service, Paramount Plus. That was probably the best decision because I highly doubt this movie would have made any money if it came out in theaters. I do have a few good things to say about Infinite though. First and foremost, I did have some anticipation for this movie before the first trailer dropped, and then when that first trailer dropped, I lost all hope because I knew it was going to go to Paramount Plus, which was not a good sign, though I do really like Antoine Fuqua and of course Mark Wahlberg, but unfortunately Mark Wahlberg doesn't do anything relatively close to where his potential is. I think the concept of this movie is really cool. I'm surprised nobody's ever done something like this with the premise of reincarnation along with the action genre. Having this secret agency where people remember their past lives and are skilled fighters is pretty awesome. Even the movie's main villain, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, had a motivation that was straightforward but at the same time fresh. Like, I'm sure if something like this happened in real life where there were people who could remember their past lives, I'm sure there would be other people who had this power that would absolutely hate it, and the only way to resolve this problem is by death, and the best way to do that is to eliminate all things that you could possibly be reincarnated into. So I thought that was the movie's best idea, plus there were a couple of scenes that stood out to me. There were about 3 or 4 scenes that I thought were good in the movie, but the rest of Infinite is basically unwatchable. For a movie that has such an inventive concept, this is such a dull-looking film. If your concept is something as cool as remembering your past lives, why not make this movie look more lively and invigorate it with color? But instead, the movie is really dark. It looks like you're watching another version of The Mummy from 2017 or even a Transformers movie. It's no surprise that the movie is predictable, the acting is mediocre. Mark Wahlberg once again plays Mark Wahlberg, the same exact character that he's been playing for 10 or so years. Why can't we go back to the days when Mark Wahlberg was doing this? Going back to the screenplay, I also found it really weird how the movie had 2 separate scenes, one in the beginning and one in the middle of the movie, that explain everything. It is a very exposition heavy movie, and for some reason they repeat the same lines over and over again about how these infinites came to be and how there are 2 separate sides of the infinites. They don't even do a good job of explaining how the infinite power works. Like, for instance, Mark Wahlberg plays the modern day version of his character, and Dylan O'Brien plays the version that came before Mark Wahlberg's character. But Dylan O'Brien's version of the character was also around in the 1700s because the movie shows a picture of him from the 1700s, and it makes no sense because the movie makes it known that every single time you die you become a new person, but on the inside you're the same person, just on the outside you're a different person. There's just things in the film like that that make no sense. They're done in a very choppy way. Again, the screenplay for this movie was given no tender or care. There was so much potential for this to be a really good movie with the talent behind the camera as well as in front of the camera, but unfortunately, this was a huge flop, and I'm not really shocked considering I went straight to Paramount Plus. I'm giving Infinite a 34%. Alright, for those of you who also happened to see Infinite, I'm sure none of you did, but if there are a few of you that somehow watched this movie on Paramount Plus, definitely let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. And as always, guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.